Looking ahead, if you live in the Glide area and notice some smoke over the next few days, don't be alarmed. The Bureau of Land Management is planning a prescribed burn near Glide as early as June 16th. That's tomorrow if conditions allow. The 122-acre burn will take place in the North Bank Habitat Management area, about 6 miles west of town. Several trails may be closed temporarily and smoke could be visible in nearby communities. The goal is to reduce wildfire risk, restore oak woodlands, and improve habitat for local wildlife. Residents are urged to close windows at night and drive slowly in smoky conditions, especially at night. And today marked the last day of the Rogue Girls Fire Camp. The 3-day camp took place at the Jackson County Fire District 3 Learning Facility in White City. Girls and young women between ages 16 to 20 learned all kinds of firefighting skills, from learning how to extract people from a car to putting out a structure fire. The camp focuses on teamwork and mentorship and was led by female firefighters. It ran from Friday to today, Sunday. Now to a consumer alert this evening. Governor Tina Kotek signed a new bill over the past week restricting how companies can use people's data. House Bill 2008 bars companies from using or selling personal data for targeted advertising if that company knows someone is under the age of 16, or if they're ignoring signs that they're under that mark. It also blocks them from using or selling data that shows where someone is or was within about a third of a mile. The ban does not apply to some personal data used by utility companies. Well, shifting gears now, who knew classic cars and Father's Day went hand in hand? Well, that's exactly what some families did. Reporter Israel LaRue went out to a few car shows in the Willamette Valley today to see how families were spending their Father's Day.
The love for vintage cars was on full display this Father's Day as car shows out in Cottage Grove and here in Eugene brought out families celebrating Father's Day to celebrate classic cars.
I think it's a great idea. You know, I think it uplifts everybody's spirits around here, and I think it's great.
Magnolia Gardens Senior Living held their first car show on Father's Day for residents.
Our entire Cottage Grove showed up for these guys today. I had, 15 or so cars here, and I had no idea that many were going to show up. So I appreciate it. My residents appreciate it.
Hot rods and muscle cars were lined up in the parking lot, and on a nice sunny day, it gave residents the perfect weather to go outside and enjoy the cars. Even though there were no prizes for best car, folks who own classic cars just came out so that families could spend their Father's Day by looking at the cars. And a few miles away in Eugene, the Emerald Empire Vintage Auto Club held its 56th annual Father's Day weekend car show at Valley River Center.
Yes, this is one of our highlights of the year. Each year, we bring cars here and put them in the mall. 3 days for Father's Day weekend.
Fathers came out to enjoy the classic cars and share their passions with their children.
I really love them. I've had a big, long time of enjoying cars, and Dad used to have a bunch of old cars growing up, and it's a lot. I love them.
Over 20 vintage cars were scattered throughout Valley River Center. But out of all the classic cars seen in Eugene and Cottage Grove today, only one of them can be the best.
Well, I'm prejudiced. I like mine the best.
Reporting in Eugene, I'm Israel LaRue.
Thank you, Israel. And the annual Medford Cruise event took place yesterday at Fitchner Mainwaring Park. This is the 40th year anniversary of the car event, bringing in hundreds of car enthusiasts from all across the Rogue Valley. People were able to check out several vintage cars that were on display, with many even opening the hood to get a closer look at the engine. Plus, they had a contest with different categories to spotlight the variety of vehicles. The Medford Cruise event helps out local youth organizations. They've donated over $600,000. And the annual Porch Fest happened yesterday in Grants Pass. The family-friendly event has local bands perform on people's porches. Porch Fest closed down a few streets for this event, allowing people to walk around freely. People had the chance to walk down the streets listening to music and interacting with local vendors. More than 30 bands performed on people's front porches. The annual event allows for members of the community to open their neighborhood and meet new people.
Gives people a chance to walk around and say hello and be friendly with each other in this day of very divisiveness from the political leaders. This is just such a nice way of people just saying hello to each other, walking around, realizing the world is not a bad place.
An estimated 4,000 people showed up to the event. All money from Porch Fest will be donated directly to youth organizations in Josephine County. For more information, including how to donate, you can head over to our website. In our continuing coverage, Israel and Iran exchanging a barrage of airstrikes, explosions, and plumes of smoke hovering over Tehran's skyline. In Israel, residents seeking shelter as Iran launches more missiles into the country. Allison Kosick has the details.
The streets of Tel Aviv empty as more Iranian missiles were launched towards Israel. Residents told to seek shelter amid the continued attacks. The IDF says Israeli defense systems are operating to intercept this latest threat. ABC's Ian Pannell is there.
Well, you can see the intercepts taking place now. This is Israeli air defense trying to intercept an incoming barrage from Iran. We just had the siren a few minutes or so ago. This has happened repeatedly. You can see the flash behind me here in Tel Aviv, elsewhere in Israel, and of course in Iran. We should go.
But some Iranian missiles have broken through Israeli defenses, striking targets deep inside Israel. Search and rescue teams deployed across the country. Meanwhile, Israel continued to attack Iran's capital, Tehran, from the air. Explosions and plumes of smoke seen over the city. The IDF says it struck more than 250 targets in Iran. A U.S. official tells ABC News the U.S. did not provide any military assistance or have any involvement in Friday's strike by Israel. The Israeli ambassador to the U.S. declined to rule out that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, was a potential Israeli target.
Nobody who's threatening the destruction of Israel should be off the target list.
Two U.S. officials tell ABC News Israel told the United States they had a window to kill Khamenei, but said President Trump wasn't on board with the plan. The president telling ABC it's possible the U.S. could get involved in this growing conflict, but says that hasn't happened yet. There are reports Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is urging Trump to join the operation to destroy Iran's nuclear program, but the president is urging restraint and a return to the negotiating table. Allison Kosick, ABC News, New York.
Now to an update this evening. The man accused of shooting two Minnesota State Democratic lawmakers is now in custody. Multiple sources have confirmed that 57-year-old Vance Bolter was arrested near his farm in Green Isle, southwest of Minneapolis. He was spotted on a trail camera earlier this morning and quickly taken into custody. Police say Bolter posed as a police officer when he allegedly shot and killed Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband in their home. Just 90 minutes earlier, he's accused of shooting and wounding Senator John Hoffman and his wife.
This is more than a regional tragedy. It's part of a troubling pattern, a wave of political violence that threatens the very foundation of this republic.
The FBI released images showing Bolter in a latex mask and cowboy hat near one of the scenes. Investigators say they found guns and political writings in his vehicle, including flyers naming Democratic officials and abortion providers. Governor Tim Walz calling the attack politically motivated.
Hortman was someone who served the people of Minnesota with grace, compassion, humor, and a sense of service. She was a formidable public servant, a fixture and a giant in Minnesota.
Still to come this Sunday night, making sure your dad follows proper health advice can be tough. We have some tips for you this Father's Day coming up. And sports will be coming up right after the break.
Well, let's go crash the party.
Only on Heroes and Icons. KEZI 9.4.
KEZI is celebrating high school seniors. Submit a photo of your local senior at KEZI.com/community, and they may be featured on KEZI 9 News. Plus, each week we'll be giving away a giant pizza from Abby's to one graduating senior. Celebrating high school seniors on KEZI 9 News. Sponsored by Abby's Legendary Pizza.
Chocolate fundraiser. With the Chase mobile app, things move a little more smoothly. Deposit checks easily and send money quickly. That's convenience from Chase.
Upgrade game day. Make movie nights magical. Transform your home into an immersive experience at Rife's Home Furniture and Mattress. Enjoy theater-quality entertainment interest-free for 48 months with no money down and no minimum. Only at Rife's.
If you're thinking about a new post-frame building for your residential, farm, or business, go with the king, the Pole Barn King. JTW Construction is the industry leader in post-frame construction. Our buildings, they're built to impress and engineered to last. We're committed to getting you the functionality you need, along with an aesthetically pleasing and modern design. So call JTW Construction, the Pole Barn King, for a free estimate today. Go to polebarnking.com.
Dear Plugged In, as always, you're a step ahead. Turn up the fun full throttle in Toyota's all-electric BZ4X with available all-wheel drive and Toyota quality you can trust. So charge up and let's go. Yours, BZ4X.
Right now, you can lease a new 2025 BZ4X for $309 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Patients who have sensitive teeth but also want whiter teeth, they have to make a choice, one versus the other. Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth as well as providing 24/7 sensitivity protection. Patients are going to love to see Sensodyne on the shelf.
Today is your day to claw your way to the top and win all the prizes you love at Oregon's premier Claw Machine Arcade. Join the Claw Revolution today at Claw City with locations near you. Visit ClawCityUSA.com.
Every morning, KEZI 9 News gets you ready for the day ahead, showing you what's happening right now, covering the most important local stories where you live.
Wake up with Western Oregon's #1 morning news. KEZI 9 News this morning.
Looking to expand your portfolio? Consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Now, Storm Tracker weather on Oregon News Now.
Good Sunday evening. Hopefully the dads had a great Father's Day out there. We're expecting some pretty good conditions heading into tomorrow as well. Tonight, already starting to cool back down into the 60s across the region, 70s across portions of Medford. Eventually, as we kind of make our way into tomorrow morning, it is going to be a completely cloudy start. Temperatures around 40 degrees in Eugene. Very chilly start to your Monday. 57 down across areas of Medford. And you can kind of see some thicker clouds toward the morning hours, but by the afternoon, we start to clear those out. Temperatures already starting to climb for Eugene by this time frame and areas of Medford. So activity forecast heading into Monday, going to be much of the same. In fact, we are still anticipating mostly dry conditions for the rest of the week. There are some subtle changes possibly for the Willamette Valley, and we'll take a look at that coming up. All right, heading into your Monday, 52 degrees in the morning for Wairika, 85 toward the evening of Monday. By Tuesday, chillier start around 48 degrees, but back into the afternoon, you are in the 90s. So again, we are still in this heightened fire danger area, and that is going to continue over the next several days for Northern California. All right, for the Roseburg area, 82 was the high today, 78 heading into Monday. By Tuesday, though, you can see we're back up into the 80s, and the reason why is a little bit more sunshine kind of making its way across Douglas County. All right, I mentioned those rain chances, not a great chance anytime soon. Wednesday, Willamette Valley, Northern Cascades has a possibility of some showers, but a more decent chance of rain notice toward next weekend. So it's been dry and sunny this weekend. Next one, we finally get a little bit of rain chances across the Willamette Valley, but it doesn't look like it's going to last terribly long per se. All right, here is our air mass tracker. You can see cold air to the north, warm air to the south. This is also keeping this dry activity across the region. As we kind of make our way into next week, we start to see this strengthening of this little low pressure right here off the coast of Vancouver Island, and that is going to bring the possibility of that rain that I just showed you across the Willamette Valley. But for the most part, at least all the way through about Wednesday, we're expecting mostly dry conditions across much of the state of Oregon. All right, here's a regional look across the area.
Now, sports on Oregon News Now.
The magic number for Oregon State baseball heading into Sunday's game was 2. 2 wins away from getting back to the championship series at the College World Series. The only thing standing in their way, Coastal Carolina. Let's get right into highlights. Top first, all sorts of wackiness, capped off by a base-clearing Colby Thorndike double, was the leaping dive by Easton Talt, not close enough as not 1, not 2, but 3 runs come across the board. Beavs needing a response. Easton Talt answering after the missed dive in the first, putting the ball over the fence. His first homer in nearly a month cuts the lead to 2. But then in the fourth, more of this routine grounder to A.J. Singer, and it goes right through the legs. What should have been a double play turns into a run. Coastal continues to add on. Top fifth, pulled in the air by Dean Mijos off the wall. Another run will score, and it's a 6-1 lead for the Chants. And that would pretty much be a wrap. Joining us in our coverage, sponsored by Abby's Legendary Pizza, is Brett Taylor, who breaks down what this loss means for the Beavers.
The 8-letter word to describe Sunday night's loss to Coastal Carolina for Oregon State baseball: mistakes. From the very first inning, nothing was working for the Beavers on the mound, on the field, or even at the plate until the very last inning, and by that point, it was too little too late, and now the team's season is in jeopardy of ending.
Hits didn't come at the right time. I feel like we barreled them, so that's all you can really ask for, though. So
after the regional, we've been riding the elimination bracket this whole postseason for the most part, so it's nothing new for us. Just got to go out there, take one game at a time.
New day tomorrow. Just like we went out there, and like I said yesterday before, like you were asking about the walk-off, it's like, yeah, cool, but today, then we just lost. Like, highs, lows. Tomorrow's a brand new day, and got to flush it and not think about what's in the past and be where our feet are.
It's one of those things where you can't really make mistakes. Good teams play clean baseball, and so now it's a matter of turning the page on that tonight. Really confident in what we have. We got a good group. We're here for a reason, and so I'm excited to watch our response.
Uncharacteristic mistakes made early on, but the beauty is that I trust these guys to go out and take the path that we've chosen to take all year and battle through the other side of the bracket.
Now, the bit of good news, even after a tough loss like this, is that Oregon State baseball is no stranger to having its backs against the wall. Remember, they have 5 elimination game wins that happened just a few weeks ago during regional and super regional play, and on Tuesday, they're going to need to bring some of that same Goss magic to Charles Schwab Field when they face off against Louisville for the second time at this year's College World Series. Reporting in Omaha, and our coverage sponsored by Abby's Legendary Pizza, I'm Brett Taylor.